Well, there's certainly one thing that I wish I had been more aware of regarding African cichlid aggression, especially early on when I first started keeping African cichlids. And if I had to give you one rule that I think you should adhere to the most regarding African cichlid aggression, this is it. Let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, let YouTube know that something good is going on here, and hit that sub button, the bell, and a thumbs up, and that'll encourage YouTube to put these videos in front of other fish keepers like you and me. Thank you so much for that. So what's the rule that I'm talking about? It's very, very simple. Act fast. And by act fast, what I mean is, if you get a fish that is obviously a jerk, like I've been through recently, and if you've been following my videos, you know that I had a dragon blood that was a jerk. I had a phoenix that was a jerk. Both of those were absolutely gorgeous fish. And so you want to hold on to them. You want to give them every possible chance to make it. But without doubt, they were both killers. They were just killers, and would pursue a fish relentlessly, and would actually bring about really severe fin damage, damage to the side, missing scales, and ultimately I really have no idea how many fish they actually cost me. Not just with just outright killing them, but the stress they created in the tank, and all the other things that come with that. Now I can say for the first time in I don't know how long, I have a tank that is where the fish are actually getting along. There's a relative amount of peacefulness in this tank. Now, yes, there are some of the routine chases that you'll expect in a cichlid tank, but I don't have one fish singling out another fish or keeping an area of the tank completely empty because every other fish is afraid to go into it. And I tell you, the way I brought that about was by identifying the jerk and getting them out of the tank. And I thought for sure that another fish would move into that position. And maybe at some point in the future, one of these fish will. It's entirely possible. We know that these fish change sometimes for no apparent reason. But I'll tell you, I'm experiencing this momentary balance in this tank, and I'm really happy for it. And I think it came about because I finally pulled the fish that were just troubled. These were just trouble fish. They didn't belong with the general population. They belong somewhere else, and I hope they both have good homes now. Hopefully in a tank where fish are larger and are not intimidated, and fight back and get them to actually calm down, because even those two fish had periods when they were the smaller or the new fish in the tank where they were low key. But once they acquired some confidence and some size and weight, right, they just became monsters. And if you have a fish like that, my recommendation is to don't bother redecorating the tank, don't bother with timeouts or changing the decor around. Don't bother with all of that. I tried it all. My advice, get the fish out of the tank. If you want to keep them in a separate tank. Throw them in a 55 and keep them there alone. But don't have them in a tank with fish when he's just a jerk. He's just a antisocial serial killer that is just going to make trouble, irritate the other fish, create fin damage, bring about disease because of the stress, prevent fish from being able to eat, prevent fish from taking advantage of a large aquarium because they're afraid to go into certain parts of the tank because those are being guarded so heavily. So, do your fish a favor, if you see something like that, jump on it and kick the fish out, send them packing. Everybody's going to be happier, especially you. I am so much happier and calmer when I sit in front of this tank and look at these fish. It's just so much fun now. Or before it was, before it was, but there was always like that, that torpedo attack coming out from behind the rocks, or just something really violent, and it takes some of the joy out of it. I mean, let's just be honest. So that's my tip. If you have a jerk, it's a jerk, you've given him chances, and you're convinced it's a jerk, pull him out, take him somewhere else, and do yourself and all the other fish a favor. Don't coddle. Don't keep hoping. It's my experience from having been through it so many times. Give that fish another home. All right? What are your thoughts about this? Share them in the comments below. I'd like to hear about them. And we can talk about it on Saturday at the Cichlids and Coffee live stream. And that's on Saturday at 11 a.m. Central. That's 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Great group of fish keepers. And for those of you who would like to support the channel, use the Amazon link to get to the Amazon store. It's in the description. Pick up some swag from the Teespring store and consider becoming a member of the Garage Gang, a Patreon, which is a way to support the channel automatically on a monthly basis. And that helps to cover things like trips to Aquashella, equipment, lighting, fish, tanks, all that good stuff. And along with, of course, I have a great channel sponsor, the Cichlid Shack in Tempe, Arizona. Visit the shack, the cichlidshack.com, and be sure to use the discount codes ShackAttack10 for orders, any orders of anything really. And but if the order is for fish and over $100, use ShackAttack15. You'll get a 15% discount. Okay? So there you have it. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.